Yes, okay. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Lilian de las Llagas, Professor, College of Public Health, moderator here in UP Manila. We have a question for you. What do you think is the most important obstacle of the University of the Philippines in accomplishing the unthinkable?
What is the most important, okay, very
Obstacle.
good. What do you think is the most important obstacle of UP in accomplishing the unthinkable? It's not the money. I know you'll think it's the money. No, I don't think it's the money. It's the way, I don't know, the culture, the way we think, our collective mentalities. And that's the toughest to change. That's really the toughest to change. An administration can make one rule after another, one kind of incentive, but it's the collective mentalities. It's really tough. And I think one way we can work at it, you know, we aren't really talking enough to each other across disciplines. I think we have to. There's a lot to learn. I mean, we have to spend more time talking to the young people. I try to do it in between terrorizing them so they write better. You know. But I try. But I think we have to share this kind of discussions amongst us, the faculty. You know, one of the during the term of President Nemenso, when we put up those publication awards, some people, of course, many welcomed it because they said, well, okay, now we're going to get extra income, you know, for doing well. Yeah. But what we really wanted to do was to make it a habit so that eventually faculty would just publish as a matter of habit. Award or no award. Of course, we're nowhere near there. Okay, but, you know, we have to keep going at it. And I think we need to talk some more with each other.
UP Cebu is next. Moderator is Professor Phoebe Sanchez.
Mayong hapon, Dr. Diokno dyan sa UP Cebu. Education serves as the social capital nation building. A market-driven education, or what they corporatization of education, likewise comes inevitable, where state subsidy very low. If you are to offer a solution, what do you propose SCUs must do to sustain standard tertiary education and compete internationally without necessarily sacrificing any sector in academia?
We have the question via Skype.
You want to read it?
All right. Where education serves as the social capital for nation building, a market-driven education or the corporatization of education likewise becomes inevitable, given a very low state subsidy for education. If you are to offer a solution, what do you propose SCUs must do to sustain a standard tertiary education and compete internationally without sacrificing any sector of the academia?
The question has to do with SCUs in general. Oh, that's easy. Shut down everyone that's substandard. That's easy. There are many SCUs that are really just not even better than high schools. Ched knows how I feel. They're crazy enough to get me as their consultant, so I look at the data and I look at the performance of the SCUs. And many of them are hardly, you can't even call them a university. You know what I would like to see here? I would like to see a greater diversification of tertiary education. If you're good as a community college, be the best community college in the world. If you're a good junior college, then be the best at that. But not everyone has to be a 4-year college. Because kung hindi kaya, bakit pipilitin? Then, of course, but will you put me in CHED so I can close them down? I don't think they would. It's easy. The solution is easy. Just close them.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Diokno. May we now have UP Mindanao is ready with their question. Professor Maria Araceli Dance Lee.
Hi.
Hello.
There's a question from UP Mindanao. Do you think our tradition as an academic institution of always highlighting the notions of individuality and self-expression rather than promoting values helpful to the community could have been one of the reasons why we have produced graduates who participate in the perpetuation of bureaucracy and dirty politics?
I don't think it's our orientation towards individuality. I mean, part of being in university is really learning to be yourself. And here in UP, that's the best thing about us. You know, it's hard to leave this place, much as we know its imperfections. Yeah? Because here one can really be oneself, and you can excel. You can be the best person you can if you want to. I think, in particular today, because of the situation, at least this is what I get from the kids, the children. I talk to my students all the time, and I try and understand how they see things. Obviously, I'm getting old, so I'm not sure we think the same way. But this is what the kids tell me. There's extreme parental pressure on them to finish the degree. Don't get involved in anything. Right, children? Yeah, come on. Yeah, I know. Don't get involved in anything. That's what the parents say, because that will deviate you from getting that degree, which will lead you to the job that will help you now support the rest of the family. So that's a very strong factor. It's very compelling, and it's not very easy to argue against, but this is what the students say. And the corollary to that, therefore, becomes like, well, okay, then we don't want to care, or we don't care to know. Okay, if you take a poll, just take a poll of your GE students and ask them how many actually read the newspapers, you won't want to know the answer. Maybe Sarah Palin might even do better than the kind of they will not. You have to. The thing is that the pressure is on us, really. Helia was asking earlier about faculty. This is the pressure on the faculty member. Things that maybe we didn't have to do before, we now have to do. Okay? Because it's the only way to make certain that they start even thinking about it. We don't know what the end product of that thought process will be, but we must initiate it. And I don't think really it's the individuality. It's that, and then the kind of world. We have to understand that the way we paint our world is really different. It's really different from young people. I mean, I don't understand it all myself. I'm old. They have to constantly explain it to me. Even the language, the terms, I get lost because they give me lessons in vocabulary because I cannot follow the changes, and the kids always teach me. But we have to, in teaching, we have to find that entry point. We're able to get in and then somehow push it to its limits. And this means it's a heavier burden on the GE teachers, because we can't just teach it as a cut and dried course. Mm-hmm. We really have to go out of our way to also be able to relate it so that they think more broadly. As for the values of the young, I don't want to speculate, because they might throw it back at me and say, "Ma'am, what about the values of the faculty?" And then I will keep quiet. So,
thank you very much, Dr. Diokno. UP Open University is ready. The moderator is Professor Rosella Torrecampo.
Good afternoon. We have a question from the Martha Rest Villa.
In what ways can UP make certain that UP students get quality education from the teachers, who should also care and be genuine scholars ng bayan?
Okay, what is Teret's question?
In what ways?
I can hear the voice.
In what ways can UP make certain that UP students get quality education from its teachers and be genuine scholars ng bayan?
Okay, you young people, you also perplex me. Because on the one hand, you might be a little bit more outspoken than before, but on the other hand, you are also quite timid. We were crazier during our generation then. No, I'm not saying that as a good example, but I mean, if you look at your degree as a job ticket, you will only want to say what you think will want to be heard, because you do not want to imperil your chance of getting that all-important grade that you need. And that affects the kind of, and therefore on the one hand, I put the burden on the students. You don't think your teacher teaches well? You think your teacher doesn't come to class prepared? I don't have to teach you what to do. What about the faculty? I think here we have to, how do you say it? Sanctions don't really work here. And I'm not the type who believes in sanctions. I think we should talk things over. We have faculty are also human beings. We have to balance a lot of things. And like I always tell my students, there are good days and bad days, yeah? Mm-hmm. But the point is that we faculty really have to be prepared at all times. And so that means hiring, when we recruit, when we promote, that we don't reward faculty who perhaps are not really good examples at all. We have to find all our ways of dealing must reinforce things in a singular way. But I'm a firm believer in discussing these things. Sometimes it's when you share with another that you get an idea, oh yeah, I can handle it pala this way. It never occurred to you that you can handle this portion of the course in this way. Until you get to talk to someone else who's maybe taught something and, oh yeah, that's a brilliant idea, I can use that too. I think that's very, very helpful. But definitely, we should not renew faculty who can't teach. We shouldn't, right?
Yes.
Children?
All right. So UP Baguio is ready. Our moderator is Professor Grace Subido.
Good afternoon, ma'am. From UP Baguio Vice Chancellor for Administration, Dr. Teofino Rapanut. What is the idea behind the Interactive Learning Center, which was initiated during your term? There were initial projects, but no follow-throughs have been made. Thank you.
I thought I forgot everything when I left Quezon Hall. When I shut the door, that was it. I was done. The Interactive Learning Center was just supposed to be a supplementary, a technological, educational technology